Hello everybody, my name is Jacob Toronto of ChasingCinema.com. I have been back and forth all week with CinemaCon here in Las Vegas 2015. I've been bringing so many big announcements from the studio's presentation. I've done a lot of interviews, all posted on our YouTube page. But there was one thing in particular, even though I have tons of CinemaCon footage that I've uploaded and recaps, things like that, there was one thing I knew I had to make a video today about instead of posting this footage, and that was a trailer that kind of blew up today. I believe it came out last night, maybe even earlier yesterday, but that is the new trailer from Scott Cooper's film Black Mass, starring Johnny Depp, Joel Edgerton, Benedict Cumberbatch is in it, Dakota Johnson. There is a humongous cast in this movie. Now, Black Mass, where should I even get started? If you don't know what Black Mass is about, I know if you've seen the images of Johnny Depp, he is actually playing gangster James Bulger Jr., and also known as Whitey. It was James Whitey Bulger, who has been convicted for murder. He's a major crime figure. Out here in Las Vegas, downtown on Fremont, we have the Mob Museum that really dedicates 3 floors, 3 major humongous levels to the mob and the Italian mafia and the rise of the mafia rising here in Las Vegas with, films like Casino and stuff like that. And, the gangster genre is one of the most powerful genres in film. See, maybe not today we speak so much about gangster pictures, but if you think back, to a really, really early point in the golden age of film, gangster pictures were a major selling point during the time of Prohibition and when films were kind of becoming more and more natural to people, though the stories were obviously much different because of the Hays production code. But those movies continued on through the 60s and 70s with directors exploring like Bonnie and Clyde and a few other situations. And then we had this incredible director by the name of Martin Scorsese appear on screen with his film Mean Streets and, a few other productions that he worked on, and he became a major director, if not the most known director for the gangster genre in modern times, that is. It went from James Cagney to Robert De Niro, and people would see these iconic figures like Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro in these gangster movies for the Goodfellas or Casino, and they loved them. People loved seeing that organized crime, that glamorous yet violent lifestyle, because it was type glamorized, though the films never said this is what you should do. I mean, obviously we usually saw the rise and fall of these people and these figures. Johnny Depp, who's going to be playing the main character, James Whitey Bulger. Also, I'm just going to call him Whitey because I keep wanting to say Bulger, but it's Bulger. Johnny Depp will be playing Whitey, and Johnny Depp has done his fair share of gangster films already. He's done Public Enemies, I believe in 2009, which wasn't that great. I believe it was directed by Michael Mann. But he is known for doing a really classic with Al Pacino called Donnie Brasco. So Johnny Depp has definitely explored that, and he's also done, a few other, I don't want to say necessarily gangster pictures, but a lot of biopic dramas. I'm thinking of Blow in particular, where he really kind of invested in a character that we saw the rise and fall for. I've had a major problem with Tim Burton and Johnny Depp for a very long time. Not in the sense that I, really dislike them, but in the sense that it seemed like these two creative geniuses were revolutionary in film, which they were, and then they just came to a point where they were really content in doing the same thing. And I've just been really disappointed. I don't think I've seen a Johnny Depp film that I really loved. Let me kind of look at his biography because I might be forgetting some stuff. In a very long time. I mean, I would think the last movie that I kind of liked him in probably was maybe Sweeney Todd, and I was iffy on Sweeney Todd. That's not true. I liked him in Tusk, but no one saw Tusk, so I won't count. Unfortunately, not many people saw Tusk. I like Tusk. But he did Transcendence, which was awful. Well, not awful, but it was bad. He did Mordecai, was his most recent picture, which kind of makes me nervous because that was one of the worst movies I think I've ever seen. And the fact that he's doing this now, I'm like, ooh. He did Into the Woods, but he wasn't a major character. I didn't like The Lone Ranger. I didn't like Dark Shadow. I hated Dark Shadows. Besides the movies that he does parts in, I seem to enjoy, like 21 Jump Street, things like in Tusk, where he's not necessarily a main character, but well, I guess he kind of is. But I mean, he's really just been on a terrible role for me. And my thing is that he used to play these incredible characters, these incredible people, real life people. Ed Wood, which is my favorite Johnny Depp film, Blow, who he played. Oh my God, I'm gonna forget his name now. George. Oh man, don't tell me. I'll think of it, or I'll look it up. One of the two. George Young. George Young. Is it Young? George Young, we're going to say. If I'm wrong, you guys can correct me in the comments below. But there was a point in his career where he kind of just stopped doing that, and he just put on makeup and worked on a Tim Burton movie like Dark Shadows and Alice in Wonderland, like Charlie and Chocolate Factory, that just were not producing good talent. However, at the end of last year, Tim Burton came out with the film Big Eyes that I thought was a movie that brought him back to his roots, that he really wanted to tell a story about people and about artistry and not just focus on his style, his visual style. He wanted to tell a story, and I really loved that movie, and I was like, finally, Tim Burton has brought it back. And I was like, now it's just time for Johnny Depp. If you actually go watch my video review, I think I literally said that, Johnny Depp, it's your turn. Then Johnny Depp came out with Mordecai, and I said, I think I'm giving up on this man. Now, my girlfriend Samantha is a humongous Johnny Depp fan, always has been, but I think she even tends to agree with me that his movie choices are not nearly as exciting as they used to be. She probably doesn't have the same contempt I have for it. No, I don't know if contempt's the right word, but just disliking, because, I feel like a man with that caliber of talent should be doing films that really revolutionize his craft, really explore what he could do. That doesn't mean like he's a bad guy because he wants to do what he wants to do. I mean, I know he's doing a series with Kevin Smith right now. He's doing Yoga Hosers with his daughter and Kevin Smith and his daughter, because that's what he wants to do, and that's fine. He's a dad. He wants to maybe do more different things. That's okay, but at the same time, I just ask, like, why was he doing Mordecai? I mean, for fun? Maybe because he needed to do something light before diving into Black Mass? I'm not sure, but I hope this is his redemption. I hope I go into this movie and see the old Johnny Depp. I hope I see a man who's really trying to capture a performance and tell a story that will stick with me. I think about Johnny Depp's performance in Blow all the time. I think about his performance in Ed Wood, I don't want to say on a daily basis, but very often, because they're so good. So I hope that Johnny Depp really dives into this character and kind of looks for the roots of that actor who really wanted to impress people and really craft an amazing character and a performance. And I hope that's what comes from this film, Black Mass. The trailer was amazing. I mean, everything about this trailer was just so smart, so witty, and so terrifying. We had this scene when Johnny Depp's character, Whitey, is across this dinner table, and he's asking this man what's his secret recipe for this marinade for the steak. And he tells him it's a family secret. And in the trailer, he starts agitating him a little bit. Tell me what it is. Come on, what is it? And the man does. And he says, why'd you tell me that? You told me the secret. And this dialogue between, well, more becoming a monologue, just focuses on all these different crimes and political movement. It looks like we have Benedict Cumberbatch, who kind of looks like this politician or somewhat of a man with power. We had Joel Edgerton, and we saw all these clips that look very enticing, very dark. Now, Scott Cooper, well, let me finish the trailer. And then this man kind of has this deer in headlights look as Johnny Depp's character just starts to laugh at him, just says, I'm just kidding, But, it really instantly brought me back to the amazing and classic scene between Joe Pesci and Ray Liotta in Goodfellas when he said, am I funny like a clown? Do I amuse you? Which people laugh at and joke about and talk about now because everyone knows that it's a sign of that eventually becomes a sigh of relief. But that tension, when you were in that theater and you were watching Casino, the first time I watched Casino, which wasn't in theaters, unfortunately, was just like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And you're waiting for this breaking point. And then and you just kind of get to breathe. Like, it's like cutting off, it's just like holding your breath as this moment of tension and suspense is building and building and building. And to me, that just kind of shows how hopefully great Scott Cooper directs this picture. I love the trailer. I'm all for it. I'm there. I'm excited. Now, Scott Cooper has had a hit and miss with audiences. Crazy Hearts film he did with Jeff Bridges won a couple Academy Awards, I believe. Very, very popular film. I enjoyed it a lot. And then his, I want to say his most recent picture was Out of the Furnace, which starred Christian Bale and told the story of two brothers, which a lot of people didn't like. I thought that it was a little bit... I thought it was attacked a bit more than it should have been. I honestly kind of enjoyed that film. and just thought that it really got attacked for what seemed to be kind of, I think it was a little bit attacked too much. Now, those are the only 2 films that he's ever done, including Black Mass now, which will be the 3rd that comes out in 2015. So, at this point, there's a lot. I believe in September of 2015. There's just a lot of things that could happen with this movie. It could go completely right and be an amazing picture, and a picture that we're going to maybe talk about for a long time, or it's going to be a movie that people are just going to forget and just be a movie that could have been. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think to the trailer? Leave it in the comment box. Hit subscribe, where I'm constantly updating you guys with movie news, cast details, and all that fun stuff each day on this YouTube channel. Hit the like button to show your support. My name is Jacob Toronto. Follow me and Chasing Cinema on all of our social media websites, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, yada yada. All down here in the description box. Comment again. Let me know what you think about this movie. Mind you, there is a documentary on Whitey. What's the full title? That came out based off his book, which was sold at the Mob Museum. It's called Whitey, United States of America versus James J. Bulger. Which I believe should be available on DVD and maybe Netflix. I'm not 100% sure if it's available on Netflix. I recommend you check. Maybe you should check it out before. Maybe you will wait because you will just want to be really suspensed in the story and to find out what happens. But either way, I think it's something you should probably keep in mind. Thank you so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jacob Toronto, and please continue chasing cinema.